Neil Sean here. Nice to see you. Thank you so much as ever for joining me. And also thank you for your lovely comments about going inside one of London's most historical hotels. What a place, eh? I know, just to think about it, you know, the telephone, Agatha Christie, Roosevelt, Churchill, Queen Victoria, everybody stepped through those doors. And it is an incredible place. As I said, I'm not an ambassador. I wasn't being paid or anything like that. I just thought, well, you'd kind of enjoy it, you know. So I'm so glad that you did. But it also got me thinking as well, because, well, we do, don't we? You have a pot of tea, you sit down, your mind starts to wander. There's yours what is wandering now, isn't it? I can see. Yeah. Seriously though, you do, don't you? Have a moment where you sit down and think, oh wow, yeah. And that really took me back to another brilliant UK author who really, I don't think is as recognised, obviously, as the brilliant Agatha Christie, but should be, because she, you know, wrote over 100 books, sold 123 million copies of those books. We're talking about the Northeast legend, that is Catherine Cookson. Now, Catherine, if you haven't seen her work, you will enjoy it. It was made into a series of television dramas, I think in the 80s, very successful, in fact, with big names in them. Yeah, incredible names when you think about it now, including the actor Sean Bean. But what it really set me off thinking was this, because many years ago when I was working for a record label, a recording company, I do remember a particular gentleman coming in to see the producer of that said record company. He was a major producer, had millions of number ones, you know, productions, written everything, all that sort of stuff. But this particular person, and I didn't dream this is what got me thinking, was aligned to the author Catherine Cookson, who was then thankfully still very much with us. And the reason why I was visiting was this, that he'd got a recording of Catherine singing My Way. Yes, the big Frank Sinatra song, My Way, written by the equally fabulous Paul Anka. Now, I just remember being in this meeting because my role in that particular job was simply to sit there and, you know, sort of take notes and see what they wanted to do, all that sort of thing, you know. And I just remember thinking, Catherine Cookson, right? Yeah, I know who she is, but what? And so this particular recording was played, and it was a very good vocal, I have to say. I remember the sort of discussion going on about, well, you know, she just wants it now produced and she would like it to be out there. And perhaps this was kind of like her final swan song, something she'd always wanted to do, make a record. Who knows? People do, don't they? But then it disappeared. And despite intensive efforts, I've looked all over the net, I've contacted the Catherine Cookson Society, nobody seems to know anything about it. So I thought I'd throw it open to you. Had you heard of anything like this? Were you aware of Catherine Cookson's brilliant history? Because if you, as I say, if you haven't seen it, do check her out or read her books. She is a brilliant, brilliant authoress, without a doubt. Tells some cracking stories, mainly set in the northeast of England, beautiful part of the world, but just engaging stories. But isn't it a shame that actually nobody took up that wonderful offer? As I say, I was a lot younger then, and you know, you didn't necessarily have the power to be able to say to the bosses, you should do this, this will be good. You know, it's part of history, isn't it? And I'm sure the producer in question now must ponder and think, maybe I should have done it. But either way, somewhere out there, there is a recording, I recall, of Catherine Cookson, the multi-million selling authoress, singing the classic My Way. Now, up to you. Can you find anything out? Yes, bit of work. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.